The ocean stretched endlessly, a vast canvas of blue meeting the horizon. Its beauty was deceptive. Beneath the surface lay a world where life and death coexisted in fragile balance. For Sophie Carter, a competitive swimmer and ocean lover, the sea was more than just water. It was freedom, a place where she felt truly alive. But one fateful swim would change everything. It was a crisp summer morning when Sophie decided to train in New Zealand's Bay of Plenty. The sunrise painted the sky with soft pinks and fiery oranges, and the gentle sound of waves lapping the shore filled her with calm. Sophie preferred the ocean over pools. There was something about its vastness and unpredictability that made her feel connected to the world. She adjusted her goggles and stepped into the cool water, shivering slightly as it enveloped her. Her plan was simple: swim out to a buoy about a mile offshore and return. It was a route she had swum many times before. As she began, the rhythmic motion of her strokes felt soothing. The water's cool embrace and the pull of the waves guided her forward. Beneath her, the coral reef faded into an abyss of deep blue. She pushed aside any fear of the unknown below. The ocean demanded trust, and she gave it willingly. About halfway to the buoy, Sophie noticed a change. The crystal-clear water darkened slightly. A chill ran through her, but she dismissed it. Perhaps a cloud had passed overhead. She continued swimming, but her senses heightened. Then she saw it. A shadow moved beneath her, slow and deliberate. Sophie's heart skipped a beat. She stopped swimming, treading water, as she peered into the depths. The shadow grew larger, and her breath caught when she realized what it was. A great white shark, at least 15 feet long, was circling her. Fear gripped her. She knew the rules: don't splash, stay calm, and avoid looking like prey. But rules were easier to remember than follow when a predator's cold, lifeless eyes were fixed on you. Sophie's breaths quickened, and her body tensed. She fought the urge to scream. The shark's movements were slow but deliberate, its massive body gliding through the water. It circled closer, each pass feeling like a test. Sophie felt small, fragile, and utterly alone in the vastness of the sea. And then, from the corner of her eye, she noticed another shadow. Her stomach sank. Another shark? But this shadow was different. Larger, graceful, intentional. An orca. The killer whale's sleek black and white body shimmered as it moved with astonishing speed. Sophie froze, her fear mingling with awe. She had read about orcas in the area, but had never seen one in the wild. Now one was here, and it wasn't just passing by. The orca positioned itself between Sophie and the shark, its massive presence undeniable. The shark hesitated, its confident movements faltering. The orca released a series of sharp clicks and whistles that reverberated through the water. Sophie could only watch in stunned silence as the two giants of the sea faced off. The shark circled once more, but seemed to think better of it. With a final, wary pass, it disappeared into the depths, leaving Sophie alone with her unlikely protector. Relief flooded Sophie's body, but she was far from safe. Exhausted and still a mile from shore, she didn't know how she'd make it back. The orca, however, didn't leave. It swam closer, its intelligent eyes studying her. For a moment, they simply looked at one another, and Sophie felt an unexplainable connection. Then, as if sensing her need, the orca began swimming toward the shore, pausing to look back at her. It was guiding her. "You're helping me," Sophie whispered, her voice trembling. She followed, her strokes weak but determined. The orca stayed by her side, occasionally circling as if checking for danger. Finally, Sophie reached the shallows. She stumbled onto the sand, collapsing in exhaustion. Turning back toward the water, she saw the orca lingering at the edge of the surf, its dorsal fin slicing through the waves. Their eyes met once more, and Sophie felt tears streaming down her face. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice breaking. The orca released a series of soft clicks before diving beneath the waves, its massive body disappearing into the blue. Sophie lay on the beach, her body trembling from adrenaline and emotion. She replayed the encounter in her mind, unable to believe what had happened. When she told her story, people were captivated. Why had the orca intervened? Was it instinct, intelligence, or something deeper? For Sophie, the reason didn't matter. What mattered was the connection she had felt, an unspoken bond that transcended species. Sophie dedicated her life to ocean conservation, inspired by the orca that had saved her. She often returned to the Bay of Plenty, not out of fear, but out of hope. Each time she entered those waters, she carried the memory of that day with her, a reminder of the profound connections that exist in the natural world. The ocean is full of mysteries, Sophie often says. But the greatest mystery of all is the compassion we share with its creatures. That orca didn't just save me. It reminded me that we're all connected, part of something far greater than ourselves. And so, Sophie's story became more than a tale of survival. It became a testament to hope, to connection, and to the intelligence and empathy that exist in the depths of the sea.